Rocket launcher marine has been done, and Ethiara keeps riding. So far I've only got a Falcon, Graf tank, the main battle tank for Eldar. I thought that whatever type of army I build, there's always going to be a need for a Falcon. So far I've magnetized all the weapons and I've primed it all black. Plus I've begun to paint the inside areas like the cockpits, etc. Once the hard to reach places are painted, I'll glue it all together and paint the rest. That's cool. Yeah, I know Falcons, I've seen them, and that's just what I meant before. You can do a really great paint job with a Falcon. I think you have a lot more possibilities, like for instance when you do a Rhino or when you do a Land Raider. Of course I've seen crazy Land Raiders and crazy Rhinos painted really great stuff, but usually the Space Marine stuff is just a lot more plain and blunt. And the Eldar, of course, it's like the elves, I think, right? And they like the art and all the fine detail stuff, and yeah, that's why they have the prettier tanks than the Space Marines, not the more effective ones. Well, I have to say that as a Space Marine player, of course. So yeah, that's cool, and also I think it's really great that you magnetize your models. I mean, if it's an army with which you will play, then keeping as many options as you can is generally a good thing. And I think it's just cool when you magnetize something and then you see how it kind of fits really well, and you can even change the pose of the model, especially if it's arms and stuff. I also, when I do dreadnoughts, I magnetize the torso so I can turn it. I kind of like that a lot. Makes him look a bit more dynamic on the battlefield. So let me see what Ethia is riding. I'm aiming for a very mobile army full of jet bikes and Graf tanks, possibly a unit of warp spiders because they're fast as well and they look cool. The army composition is very similar to the Saim Han craft world. However, I didn't want another red army. I played Blood Angels as a kid. So the paint scheme I've decided on is a dull grey for the base of the armor, similar to Mini Wargamer Joe's Eldar, a purple to contrast with the grey for all the other armor pieces, helmet, pauldrons, raised armor plates, etc. Then for the weapons, the guns will be mainly black with wraithbone details, and the blades will be purely wraithbone. I'm not sure about power swords or chain swords yet. I think it's great that you already have, you know, like the army prepared in your head. So you know exactly what kind of color scheme you want and what kind of units. That's also one part of the hobby which I like. When you start thinking about a new army, you come up maybe with a first idea what kind of stuff you could do and what you could paint and how you could paint it, and then it evolves from there, right? Maybe you talk to friends, they tell you things, tell you, hey, you have to do this and this model, it's really awesome. on the table, and somehow your army grows, and you never, or I think, at least for me, I never exactly know where it grows to. The only thing I know when I start an army, which happened twice now, this is my first, the Ultramarines, and I started parallel, I started an Imperial Guard army. So yeah, I never really know where it goes. The only thing I know is it will be big. So I mean, my Space Marine, my Ultramarine army, if I have done all the stuff which I have planned, I will end up around maybe 18,000 points of colored Marines. And yeah, but then I think for the rest of my life I've had enough Space Marines. Of course, you never know. You never know. Okay. Okay. So Ethia keeps writing. That's really a long comment. Man, I like that. Well done, Ethia, well done. Keeps writing. I remember the same problem with the backpacks and the boulders with my Marines. I was only young back then, so I didn't care as much, but now I would paint each bit separately, then put them together afterwards. You said that this would be the last Marines that you were going to be putting together for your Ultramarines army, but is that unpainted Terminators I see on your work table? Also, what other figures, vehicles, etc. do you need to build and paint so that your army is complete for your big apocalypse game coming up? And are you going to do continuing, or are you going to be continuing this vlog for them too? That would be cool. Always. Anyway, another big ramble from me. Hope this posts this time. Keep up the good work and the cool videos, Hellfast. Well, thanks a lot. That's really nice of you to say. And so let me answer your questions first. Yes, I did say these are the last Marines I will paint. With that, well, I meant tactical standard Marines. Of course, you are right with the Terminators. There are like 10 more Terminators, and I have in my cupboard, I have like even 10 more Assault Terminators. I have like at least 3 more tanks, more Land Raiders. I have so much to paint, but not everything has to be done for the Apocalypse game. So you ask me what I have to do for the Apocalypse game. I can show you. I'll do that just in a minute.